A lot of people are going to be so upset that they don't go after Breece Hall right now before week number 6 kicks off, because Nathaniel Hackett being fired or demoted, you could say, still on this squad, but being removed from play calling duties is as good as being fired in our eyes. And this is going to change everything as it relates to Breece Hall, the passing attack, the running game, every single piece of the game planning. All of the frustrations we've had, I think, get thrown out the window. Breece Hall will absolutely flourish with this change. The shakeup that will do what? Why do you think they got rid of Hackett in terms of play calling and got him out of the way? Because Breece Hall did nothing for 2 straight weeks. When this team wins, Breece Hall is doing something, running the ball, catching the ball. When Breece Hall gets an X number of touches, he scores a touchdown. And if anything gets shaken up at all, it will 100% be Breece Hall getting the football. And now is the time to buy this monster. We'll talk about a little bit of this and more. Take some super chats, take some phone calls, have ourselves a little draft or two for week 6 best ball, week 6 contest. We'll jump into those, the battle royales. We'll get into it right now. The Fantasy Football Show, Friday Night Graveyard Show, Breece Hall, buy him now before week 6 show. Draft show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
There is no better time to buy this man than right now. And we went over the potential buy low RBs walking into this week number 6. We've already gone over this. Let me minimize these two things and bring up the RBs. These are the buy low RBs for week number 6, and this guy's been highlighted for days, just sitting there in the top spot. I like all these players. Gibbs probably would be my number 2 go-get player if I had to rank these guys. They're not necessarily in order, but I did talk and rank Breece Hall number 1. I think that the opportunity that is in front of everybody doesn't feel like it's as big as it should right now. This is a big opportunity. This is a top 1, 2, or 3 overall player potentially. And while you're still buying him at a running back 1 price tag, you have to understand the discount you're getting. I don't think people will realize the discount they're getting until it's too late. I think right now they think, the guy that owns Hall might not trade him, or he wants, one of my best players. Of course he does. Like, I get that you're not going to necessarily get Breece Hall in every case using a bunch of players that are not ranked 1 and 2 and 3 on your roster. However, even if you maybe in some cases have to give up a big dog to get this done, or a big dog and a nice performing player on top of a big dog, let's call it a Neighbors who's not playing this week. You might have to give up something with Neighbors. You might have to give up something with a player like... let me just throw out a couple examples for you in terms of RBs that you could potentially send away if you just added the right wide receiver component. If we're looking at even a player like, let's call it Drake London right now, who's on fire, and he's kind of becoming everyone's favorite wide receiver 7, 8, 9, 10 darling. Now, no way Drake London's getting you Breece Hall straight up. But don't think for a second that one small accoutrement or additive into the deal, a player that's playing really well, won't push this over the edge for an owner that sat through 2 weeks of no Breece Hall usage. And remember, the doubt that the current Breece Hall owner has isn't in Breece Hall. It's in his situation. And when an upheaval happens, unraveling of a coaching staff, it doesn't always look to be a positive thing to a person in that situation. A lot of people might take, okay, they're moving on from their head coach, they're changing play callers, they're in shambles. I don't know that I trust Breece Hall in this situation. And I promise you, I'm the guy to ask, how is the public reacting grand scheme on Breece Hall? Because I have the best temperature on something like this that you can imagine. With all the different questions I get and the ways that I interact. Tell me one thing. And this is a rhetorical question because I know the answer. The answer is nobody. How many people engage with their audience more than I do? The answer is zero. The answer is zero. No channel, no YouTube channel, no content creator, no show, even 7 or 8 hosts deep. I'm the only host. I do all this. I produce, I answer phones, I'm my own receptionist. I'm everything. And nobody still, out of all those people combined, engage with their audience more than me or this channel, which gives me the authority, gives me a particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for your league mates, skills I've acquired over a long career. These skills of testing the temperature of the trade markets and the freakouts, the freakout Freddies. What is the general consensus of a player that owns Breece Hall or Bijan or Achane or Taylor or Gibbs? I have the better barometer of this situation over even an entire 6-host combo over at the other show, because no one engages like this channel. I'm telling you right now, Breece Hall is vulnerable to being traded for on the low. The owner of Breece Hall may not, every one of them may not be upset or ready to send him packing. You won't find 100% availability. You might come across somebody that is absolutely the biggest Breece Hall fan on planet Earth. I can't help you in that situation. I can't help everybody, but I can 100% promise you that Breece Hall is on average more available than he should be to an extreme degree. And if you can send a London and a running back that you're not necessarily considering to be as good long-term as maybe Steve over in accounting. Steve has been the victim lately. Steve is an absolute mess. Steve is worse than Bob. Steve over in accounting actually thinks that DeAndre Swift is a top 10 running back. Steve from accounting would literally he'd give you Breece Hall for your DeAndre Swift and Drake London. Or even better, DeAndre Swift's so valuable to him, he might actually take on, let's call it a Brandon Ayuk. Or maybe a Terry McLaurin and Swift, even though we love Terry McLaurin. We're a big McLaurin group over here. But look, business is business. T. Higgins and Swift. I've seen people get Breece Hall for less. And if you think it's not possible, keep running your mouth. Keep being negative. Keep acting like the world revolves around you. And your league's so good, people don't make mistakes. Keep doing it. See how far you get. Tell me in week, 9, week 8, tell me that your league hasn't had a trade go through that you say, can you believe this trade happened in my league? Because that's what you need to be. The person that makes the trade that everybody says, holy crap. If I would have known I could have got Breece Hall at that price, I would have done it. Don't tell me you don't think that in your league once a year. Once a year you say to yourself, God, I wish I could have been in that trade negotiation and thrown my player at the problem, and I could have potentially got Breece Hall. Buy Breece Hall now. Do it live before week 6 kicks off. You won't regret it, in my opinion. Let's hit these super chats. Let's answer them as we go through drafting as well. Phone lines will be open a little bit later. We've got this one from Vegas. Appreciate you. First super chat of the evening was Calvin. Calvin, appreciate you dropping a super chat on the screen, pal. Calvin to the moon. Vegas to the moon. Vegas to the moon. We got TZ Kafka. Appreciate you dropping your super chat. We got Rashad dropping a $5 holler. We got Sack55 dropping a super chat. He will be answered second after Calvin. Calvin's was the first one. Calvin says, appreciate you, Smitty. What would be some good buy low examples for Breece Hall? Kyron, too much? Let me ask you a question, Calvin, and don't take this the wrong way. But when Breece Hall's a buy low, meaning he's disappointing, and Kyron Williams would go 1, 2, or 3 overall, and deservedly so, why are we considering giving up Kyron Williams for Breece Hall? We can't do that, Calvin. Kyron Williams is the number 1, number 2, or number 3 overall player if drafting today. If you trade Kyron Williams for Breece Hall, You better be getting a monster player back. You be getting the London. You better be getting the player that absolutely puts your team over the edge. Kyren Williams is a monster. This isn't even close. Buy low examples of Breece I just gave. London, Swift, T. Higgins, running back like Swift. 2 players for 1 Breece Hall. Solve someone's problem that has holes at wide receiver but has Breece Hall. Or solve someone's problem that has a very bad running back too and they own Breece Hall. That is what you're doing. You're in the problem-solving business, not giving away Kyren Williams business. You hear me, Calvin? This might help explain why I think you should not get rid of Kyren. I've got some data.
He's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Sizzle. I got Breece and Sun God for Swift and Waddle. See what I'm saying? Swift and Waddle. I was trying to tell you to go get Breece Hall, maybe something small for Swift and Waddle, and you get Sun God thrown in. A worried owner, 18-team guillotine league followed that, adding up Achane and Tyreek. Nice job, bro. See what I'm saying? Not everybody's gonna get this price tag thrown at them, but you can get Breece Hall cheaply. Keeper league, trade away Neighbors for Marvin Harrison Jr. and BT. I'd rather have MHJ and BT, with Neighbors being injured right now, and he's still a rookie, as is BT, as is MHJ, meaning that if Neighbors has like a little lull, like dip in production at some point, and hopefully this time off will be that, and he might miss the rookie wall, but if he did have some sort of, drop in production, you'd have 2 other players on this other side to help accommodate for that. BT's already really close, if not as good, you could say. One could argue. So you get 2 players. Running back 1, Jacobs if Cooks is who to start Bigsby. Are you saying Kafka if Cook is out? Yeah, and Cook probably will be. So Jacobs is your running back 1. If Cook is out, I think is what you're trying to say here. Start Bigsby or Allen. I'd start Bigsby. But Braylon Allen is still a safe, secure, pretty decent, move. What's up, Smitty? Traded for Breece with Devontae Smith and Jacobs today. Yeah, I like that. Was it too much? No. I think it's a good trade, especially if you have the depth to do it. I mean, someone got a good deal, but I think you got the better end. But it's not like a horrible trade for them. Start 2, Bigsby, Tracy, Braylon Allen. I'm starting Bigsby and Tracy. Pretty easy call, even though I do love my boy Braylon Allen, and I think Braylon Allen is a fantastic player to have on your roster. It's just he will be potentially inconsistent as we await. Hopefully he doesn't ever get fed. We don't want him to get fully fed. Do I trade Bijan and MHJ for Kyren? I probably would, my guy. Yeah, I probably would. I'd try and get something more possible, but it is what it is. Malik owner needs running backs and wide receiver. Is offering Olave, Pollard, and Ayuk too much? I think so. I think Olave and Pollard or Ayuk and Pollard for Neighbors I'd do in a heartbeat. But I do think offering all 3 potentially is overpaying. However, if you have the depth to do it, like let's say you're in a 10-man league and you've got just all this bench talent, then I'd easily throw a bunch of overpaying capital for 1 player. But, should I add Hunt to the trade? You want to add more to get Nico? Yeah, I'd take Nico. Yeah, if you can get Nico by throwing Hunt in. You know what? I try and get Nico without throwing Hunt in. And then if you got to throw Hunt in, you get Nico and Neighbors for a lot. Yeah, I'd do that. I'd definitely do that if you could add to that. That's a great idea. I hope you get it done. Let us know, will you? Keep us informed. David with a $5 hauler. Got DK, gave up JMO, Ayuk, and Purdy. That's pretty arguable, my guy, only because JMO and Ayuk are both really good standalone players. I think they're inconsistent, but JMO's really, really solid. He's bye week free. It's a tough call. I think with depth, I could again say do it. And you got 3 great receivers right now, so I don't think it hurt you. It only enhanced your lineup. while maybe putting one of the guys you're deciding each week to bench on the bench. Now, if you can start all 4 wide receivers, after, once you're starting Debo or 5, because you got CD, Nico, DK, Debo. Yeah, I'm fine with that trade. I'm fine with that. That's a fantastic move. It's just you're overpaying, but some of you can. Some of you can, some of you can't. Elijah, you're live. What can I do for you, Elijah?
All right, with Rashad White out this week, are we thinking Bucky or Chris Olave?
I think Olave, there's too much noise in the background. You're going to have to listen to the answer. I would probably say Olave's safer. No, actually, Bucky's probably safer. Olave's maybe higher risk, higher reward. Yeah, I'd say Olave's got higher upside, but you're definitely looking at Bucky getting more guaranteed touches. You know what I mean? So that's a tough call. All right, phone lines are closed. Traded London and Dowdle for Bijan. I'd definitely take Bijan. Yeah, got JJ. Yeah, that's a great job. Fantastic. Thoughts on Jonathan Brooks? I like him, but I mean, he's weeks and weeks away from being even useful. And on top of that, Chuba is continuing to gain momentum, but they can't just set Chuba aside. Start 2: Cooper, Najee, Sermon. I'm gonna go with probably Cooper and. That's so tough. That is so tough, bro. Where's my schedule? I want to see who's at home and who's away. So, I mean, that's a really tough call, bro. Sermon's tempting just because, they're down weapons. They're down bad. Indy's down bad. But, does he get games scripted out really quickly? I don't know. I mean, Tennessee's not exactly a huge threat, but I'd probably say, man. Chat, can I get a vote? Are we starting Najee? Let's go Slayton in one of the spots. Are we starting Najee or Sermon? I'd probably go Najee by a hair. Also traded Bucky, and thanks for the $20 hauler. Traded Bucky, Brooks, and MHJ to the Hubbard owner in another league for Connor and Hill. Honestly, I think it could go either way because MHJ and Hill could be very close to me, and part of me would rather have MHJ right now over Hill. Given the bye week, given that he's got another week without Tua, I'd very much lean toward it. And it looks like Najee's getting the vote. It's pretty close, though. I would say I don't know if I love this trade for you. I like MHJ a lot, and man, Brooks is a nice piece for later. I'm probably going to say, at the end of the day, that boy, I'm going to say you got an even Steven deal. I really like Hill right now. I love MHJ, though. And I think Connor just puts it over the top, so I'm going to say the Hill side. But it is a little bit of a move that could make you regret it initially because Hill's out and he's got one more week without Tua. Trade my Zach Moss and Chase Brown for Breece. Well, what do you think I'm going to say? White Rice, what do you think I'm going to say to that? That's less than any of the other deals I've cooked up. You're getting Breece even cheaper. There's almost no way you get this, I don't think. I think you're not. I'm not saying this isn't an offer that you've got on the table, but I doubt it is. It's probably something you're cooking up, and I think it's going to get shot down quickly. But if you get Breece Hall for that, that's absolutely robbery, and I'm proud of you. But 12-team PPR, no PPR. All TDs are 6. His Mason, you were offered his Mason and Singletary for Braylon Allen, Dak. His Mason, Singletary, Braylon Allen, Dak for my Achane Fields. Do it. I'd rather have Achane and Fields. You got JD5, number one. It's a 1 QB. So the Dak upgrade is nice, but it doesn't mean anything. I'd rather have Achane over Mason. I love Mason. We're Masonites over here, but I'm going to say no on that one. And I appreciate your $20 hauler.
Too much.
Achane has such a good schedule coming up, bro. He's coming off the bye week. Who knows if he misses another game off the bye or one game off the bye, because he won't miss this week. He's on bye. But I'm taking the chance because his schedule looks amazing. But trust your gut. But just keep in mind, Chris McCaffrey's coming back. I don't know how good he's going to be, and I predict that he won't be amazing. But he's still coming back, and it's a little cloudy, so I'd take Achane in a heartbeat. How's my team? 3-2. Love, Mahomes, Gibbs. Okay. Kyron, Bucky, love it. Tank Dell. Tank Bigsby, Worthy, like it, love it. Sermon, Allen, I can win it all. Yeah, I think you could. I mean, if it's 1 QB, you're tempted to trade one of the quarterbacks once one of them pops off big. So maybe you wait. Bucky could have a huge day, and I think that gives us opportunity to maybe make a trade later. So this is a stand-down team. You need Kincaid, a bunch of these guys to either do something for the first time like Bucky, or just wait for some bounce back. So great team, stand down and hold. I do not make any moves with that team. It's a definite hold team. Trade Higgins for Puka. I'd rather have Higgins for right now, I suppose, in most situations, but your 4-1 record makes me tempted to say Puka Nacua, but I guess I'd answer it this way. If you're not using Higgins right now, like Mooney on the bench, you're saying, Puka and Mooney might be better than Higgins and Mooney because of what Puka can become once he returns. So I think I would take Puka in this situation because you have Mooney to help out and supplement until then. 12 PPR, any moves? With this team, I would say, look, you got Daniel. Is that Daniel Jones? What is that? D Jones W? What's D Jones W? Who's D Jones W? D Jones W? Who is that? Is it Daniel Jones? I assume it's Daniel Jones. Chase Brown, Irving, Lamb, London, Pitts, Higgins, Devontae Smith, benches Achane, JT, Mahomes. I'll probably say like you're also waiting for. I like your team a lot. Once you get JT and Mahomes and Achane back in the lineup, this is a really good team. I'm probably waiting for Chase Brown to get even better, Irvin to break out. Higgins and Irving now, but I still don't know if you're going to get the value. Maybe Chase Brown and Higgins right now for a Hill, for an MHJ, for a Bijan type player right now. If not, you just wait a week, Marquez, and you'll get more value out of that, at least two of those guys. And I think you can then go buy low on somebody that slumped. And you'll still have a bunch of guys slumping. But I think I'd try that first. Another player I'd go after maybe would be Kupp on the bye week because people are waiting on him, right? Trying to get Kupp would be my favorite target for you. Trying to get Kyron from Nico owner. I have Moss, Flowers, McLaurin, Higgins, MHJ, Brown to trade. I don't think you're getting. Well, maybe Kyron. Nah, Kyron. I don't think you're getting Kyron for any of this, bro. You could literally say I'll give you maybe MHJ and Flowers for Kyron, but Chase Brown and MHJ maybe. I don't think you're getting it for Higgins, and try Higgins and McLaurin and Chase Brown. You'd have to give all three of them, bro. Like you could try small Higgins and Chase Brown, see if he does it. He probably will not do it. MHJ and Chase Brown and Higgins, it'd probably take some kind of triple combo of that, which I don't mind doing if you have the depth to do it. But people eventually get to the point where they go, I don't even know who I'd cut. So if you can pull it off with that trio, you'd have to pay that kind of price tag, in my opinion. And I would do it if you can get it done. Start three: Bucky, Najee, Bigsby, Sermon, Tolbert. I'm going to go Bigsby, Najee, and Sermon. And that's pretty easy. Leo, appreciate you. Leo says, hope all is well. It is, thank you. Hope all is well with you. Would you trade Anthony Richardson and a first for Achane? Of course I would. Superflex. Oh, Superflex. Probably still would because, bro, I don't know what AR5 his future holds. He might be nothing. I don't know. I still like him, but I'd probably take Achane. Other QBs are Murray and Williams. Yeah, I think you're good doing this move. You can kind of afford to get a little bit reckless with the super flex value in your situation because you have 2 QBs already. Not that you should be giving away QBs when you have a few. Vampy in the house. Smitty, love you, dog. Thank you, Vampy. Appreciate you, Vampy, to the mother freaking moon. Need a win with buys, Cup, and Neighbors out. I need one wide receiver this week. Who should I play, Keon Coleman, or drop him to plug and play Slayton or McClellan? I'd probably say I just roll with Keon Coleman. Slayton's not bad. If you have a gut instinct on Slayton, a lot of people like him, but remember, a lot of people like him because they picked him up this week in dire straits, and there's a lot of people that just have him, and they're all kind of rooting together that it works out well. But he's a nice play. But I'd probably go Coleman if it was me. Also, should I grab Ray Davis and drop Quorum? If you don't have Kyron, yes. But if you own Kyron like you do, I probably figure out something else and pick up Ray Davis, yes, but not at the expense of Quorum. And if it has to come at the expense of Quorum, what happens if Kyron... this week, maybe you could do it and pick Quorum back up. I probably would maybe do that. Yeah, because who's going to pick Quorum up off the... Probably not. I'd go ahead and do that. Quorum lost a lot of his appeal, but he still becomes relevant if you're a Kyron owner. Mahomes, AR5, Knicks, Superflex League, I got you. Gibbs, Achane, Chase Brown, Bucky, Debo, Dell, Shaheed, Worthy, Kincaid. I like the team. Any moves? Probably say no, unless you're trading Chase Brown or Bucky or Rashad White with Shaheed for like MHJ, DK on the cheap. Maybe even a Jaden Reed, Tyreek Hill, MHJ. Those injured JT, like I'd do those for that combo, but that might be hard. I'm just telling you what I'd try. Other than that, I like standing down with that team until you get a little more value with some of those guys. Smitty traded Fergie and Myers for ETN. I'm fine with that. Bijan, Achane. Yeah, I like that a lot. Schultz, Evans, and Achane for St. Brown and Kelsey. I think that's even. I'd say it's damn even. Do whatever you feel your gut's telling you to do. Because honestly, bro, I'm just forcing it. But I could go to the chat. Chat, Evans and Achane or St. Brown, Kelsey. Can you vote on that one? Damn even, bro. Damn even. I probably lean. I don't know. I'd probably lean Evans and Achane by a hair. But I'd love to know what the chat thinks. So after the Breece trade, I got Mahomes, Cousins, Breece, okay? Kyron, Gibbs, love it. Maybe mixing, you trade him. London, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Worthy, Keon, Thoughts, wide receiver trade. Yeah, Mixon and Garrett Wilson for Lamb. Mixon and Garrett Wilson for, I mean, really, you got to go get like Lamb. JJ Lamb. I mean, Garrett Wilson had a big day, and he just got a shakeup in his coaching room. So, and Mixon was running back, top 5 running back, before he went down. So there's some value there you can't discredit. Past that, it's like, bro, just go trade Mixon with JSN for Tyreek Hill. And then you could even trade Garrett Wilson for A.J. Brown in a separate trade or something like that to get that bye week advantage. All right, guys, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Underdog will match your first deposit up to 50%. You click this link, use code Smitty. The link also inserts code Smitty and does the job for you. Just dropped it. It's also pinned in the live chat. We're going to get into a draft right now. If you drop $10, they'll give you, that's the minimum, $10. They'll give you $5. You drop 100, they'll give you 50. You drop all the way up to 2,000, they'll give you 1,000. 50% match on your first deposit on Underdog. Let's get right into a week number 5 best ball battle royale. Okay, so go into your Underdog app, use that link to load it, okay, and sign up and get that. You get a free pick as well on your account, and then you get that 50% match. Go to the draft tab at the bottom, go to the lobby at the top, swipe over to about the 4th card, battle royale week 6, $7 entry now. Click the green button now. Don't worry, we'll do a couple of these. Okay, so no freaking out. We'll do a couple of these. and they go really quick. And here we are. So use the link that's pinned in the live chat. Code Smitty also gets it done. Your boys drafting from the 3 spot. This is a week 6 best ball battle royale where first place, I believe, gets $30K. I think it's $30K. $50K. That's why it's $7. $50K to first place. $25K to second place. Third place gets $15K. The entrance so far, it's a lot of entrants, but guys, you're getting massive prizes. 21st through 25th place gets $1,000. You're getting $1,000 if you finish 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. If you finish between place 26 and 50th, you get $750. You get $500 if you're between 51st and 75th. And again, $50K to first place. All right, draft has begun. Let's go to board view. Make this a little easier on the eyes. OG White Rice is in the building. Appreciate you joining. You got Jahmyr Gibbs at that 1 pick. Your boys drafting from the 3 spot. We got Max with a super chat. It says T. Well, let me get this in 1 second, Max. I'm on the clock. Hold on. Okay, lamb chops. Let's go with Barkley in the 3 spot. Max, thanks for the super chat. T, Chase Brown, Patty, Puka for Breece. Chark. Are we really owning Chark? Komet, PPR. I don't, bro, that's really tough. Like, I don't know who your quarterback is. I'd probably say, like, it really depends on who your QB is going to be, but I think that's a lot to give up for Breece, but it makes sense if you're loaded with a lot of potential, like, bench talent, you know? Like, if you're struggling to play all of these guys, then I get Breece Hall. Like, if you're in that kind of league. But that is a boatload to give up. It's just like they're all like a notch below, so it seems like you're getting a good deal. But man, I guess I would say, like, can you leave Puka out and then do it? If so, I'd do it. Chat, we thinking that's too much? Someone sent me a trade that I give them Derrick Henry, Waddle, and Hunt, and I received Jordan, Mason, Dobbins, and Mooney. No, not trading Henry for that. Hell no. No, broski. Not me. No way, Jose. On the clock. Let's see here. I think I'm going to go with need a wide receiver pretty badly here, or at least I want one. I'm going to go with MHJ to have a big day. Lamar Jackson. Bucky this week is going to ball. Tanker Bucky. I'm going to go Bucky. QB would be Caleb. I still don't think that makes no. Caleb isn't bad right now, but it's because his schedule is, easy. I don't know why everybody thinks Caleb is like proving all the doubters wrong. He looked awful to start the season, and his schedule is absolutely cakewalk right now, which is good for him as he develops. But okay, let's go with the. Damn, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts here. So I've got Hurts, I've got Marvin Harrison, I've got Saquon. Travis, appreciate your $5. Someone offered you Puka for Bigsby. I'd rather have Puka. You have ETN? I still think I'd rather have Puka, but I don't know, bro. It's tough. Bigsby looks so good. I guess I keep Bigsby. If this is your second running back, there's no way I'm trading Bigsby in that scenario. But if that's like your, a bench player, then I'd take Puka. One PPR, need one running back, one wide receiver, and one flex. My choices are Eckler, Tracy, Wicks. Oh, these are horrible choices. No offense. Tracy, Sermon, and probably Wicks for me. Peanut butter OG, appreciate you. Or peanut breath. We got a lot of peanut butters, peanut butter and waivers, peanut breath. I don't know where the peanut butter comes from. 2 and 3. I want AJB, Hall, or JT. I got JD5 Barkley. You could try trading Bucky. I mean, you almost want to let him go nuts, right? But you could use Higgins and Bucky if he goes crazy. I mean, bro, try Higgins for JT injured right now. Try Higgins and something small. I don't know that I would give Bucky and Higgins for AJB right now. I probably would. Yeah, I probably would. And would I give up Higgins or would I give Bijan and Higgins for Hall? Maybe. It's a little bit of an overpay, but I probably do it. All right, hold on. I'm on the clock. I'm going to go Sam Laporta. Look at that squad. Barkley, Marvin, Hurts, Sam Laporta. Dropping it like it's hot. I like that team. Yeah, sorry about these options, bro. And then AJ with the final super chat here got offered Debo and Bijan from Mike Evans and Devontae Adams. Debo and Bijan from Mike Evans and Devontae Adams. I'd rather have Bijan and Debo. Yeah, that's pretty solid. And then this one, I'm sorry, Anthony's super chat says any move, Smitty, PPR, AR5 Cousins, Kyron Barkley, Kamara, Walker, London, McLaurin, MHJ. Look, I like your team a lot. Unless you can't start all those running backs, all four. If you can't, then I'm trading Kamara or Walker, not Kyron or Barkley. Kamara or Walker for like Tyreek Hill, or combining one with McLaurin to get like Lamb. Rock out, you're live.
Hello?
You're live. What can I do for you?
What do you think about trading J-Mo and Daddle for ETNs, the trade that came up with my head?
J-Mo and Dowdle for ETN. I'd almost rather I'd almost like you to do J-Mo for ETN, not both of them, or Dowdle on another player, but keep in mind that J-Mo's got tremendous value. ETN's fallen off. We're being very creative by considering ETN a buy low, but don't assume everybody else knows what time it is with that situation, nor do we know what time it is. My caution is that Bigsby and ETN both need to be owned, because you don't know which direction this is going to go, and it's going to go big in one of them. And there's a real good shot. And I like getting ETN, but I think you start throwing in two players, you're buying ETN as if he got his job back, and you don't know that he did. Just because his coach said so. Drop a like for it. Thank you. Appreciate you, Vampy. And then this one right here, real quick. Hold on. Rock out. Full PPR, Wicks, Ford, Keenan Allen, or Wandell. I'd probably say Keenan Allen's safe, but Wicks is higher risk, higher reward. But assuming Keenan Allen's healthy and ready to go, Keenan Allen is probably the move. But yeah, rock out. Don't overpay. Yeah, I think you're overpaying.
What if we went after Hall?
I can't hear you. What?
What if we try to go after Hall?
Yeah, of course I'd give up J-Mo, but you're not going to get Hall for J-Mo and Dowdle. But I mean, try. Yeah. I would love to hear about it.
If I put Higgins in there.
Oh, Bucky. I'm gonna go Bucky right here. Let's go Bucky right here. So my team, if you put Higgins in place of Dowdle, so Higgins and J-Mo for Hall, sure. Or throw them in. Higgins, Dowdle, and J-Mo for Hall, absolutely. But that'll be hard to get, but I'd do it. Yeah, absolutely. Here's the squad. Hurts, Saquon, Bucky, Marvin, Dell, Laporta. Let's jump into one more, guys. All you got to do is click the link that's pinned in the live chat. Here's the link so you can jump in. I'll drop it in the chat right now. Click that link. And go ahead and when you open up the Underdog app, or for those that are still in it, you're going to click on the Battle Royale Week 6. It's like the third or fourth card. Just click that green button right now. And your boy's going to jump in. I wait a little bit because there's a YouTube delay. And I'm going to open up the draft right now, put it on screen. So go ahead and jump on into that draft. One more to start. Cody, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up?
Is Connor and Devontae Smith for Hall too much, or do you think that's a good offer?
That's perfect.
Yeah, Connor Smith, Hall.
Yep.
Don't get too greedy and ask for a small receiver. Just send it.
I'd be careful to ask for more because the problem is, bro, once you start getting him to say no, there's a great chance a lot of the time someone gets in the habit of saying no, and then when you peel it back, they're still like, no. You know, I think the odds of you getting more is on the verge of, like, if you had vetoes, I'm not saying you do, but you have people like wanting to veto that. I know, like, there's like 4 or 5 people that I talk to on a regular basis about trades and stuff, and almost all 3 out of the 4, they always add too much. They always want to, like, add something that, like, just makes the trade offer horrible, and then they can never usually ever get it done at all because they just went so heavy at the start of it. I think Lamb Chops is going crazy in this game. Let's go Lamb Chops. Yeah, I like it, bro.
All right, appreciate it, Smitty.
All right, later.
Later.
All right, let's see here. Trade Mason, CMC, and Neighbors for Amon-Ra and Chase. Yeah, bro. I think anybody would take Amon-Ra and Chase over Mason, CMC, and well, Mason, CMC, and Neighbors. Yes, I still think anybody would take Chase and Amon-Ra, but that, you know, depends on CMC, I suppose. What else you got, Rock Out?
Yeah, remember the trade that we were trying to do like 2 days ago?
No.
Where I was going to give up Walker and Evans.
Oh, for Jamar. Yeah,
For
yeah.
Chase. Yeah, yesterday he was like, oh, like we could do JT, and then he went back like, oh, now I want to do Walker. He kept like going back and forth, and we're not getting nowhere.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, I like. Let's see what the chat thinks again. Jamar Chase or Walker and who is it? Walker and Evans. Walker and Evans or Jamar Chase. Which side would you have if you in a vacuum? Jamar Chase or Walker and Evans. Please vote for Rock Out.
Yeah. So if they, I'll take a risk on JT coming back.
What are we doing here? You know what? I'm going to do a weird team here. I'm going to go Diggs. Let's go Diggs. I left Jaden Daniels on the board. I'm going to do some Jaden teams, don't worry. But I'm trying to build some unique builds here. And I'm about to be on the clock. I've got 2 wide receivers. I need an RB. I'll go Monty here. Assume I get some scores. All right, hold on a second, Rock Out. AJ, this is Mike Evans or Bijan. I hope that we come back and change our minds after this Carolina game. I really do. Right now, I'm going to say Evans is safer, but I really hope that we come back and you're like, wait a minute, Smitty, you said Evans. I hope. I'm sorry, but I hope. But Evans is probably the safe play. You know, the high risk, high rewards, Bijan, if you want to roll the dice. Full PPR, Conklin or Kincaid. I'm going to go Kincaid. And Godwin at New Orleans or Mooney. I'm going to go probably Godwin, but you would not be crazy, Terry, to go Mooney, because Mooney he's got a good matchup, and he's been pretty damn good. But I don't think I'm sitting Godwin. I just couldn't. Sermon or Chase Brown? Probably Chase Brown, but it's a really close one, bro. All right, rock out. Anything else?
Yeah, it looks like down the middle, but my RB2 be hurting and be like Dowdle and Stevenson.
Yeah, Stevenson isn't even playing, so yeah, it's tough, man. That's a tough call. As much as I like Chase, you need something, and I think unfortunately he's controlling the narrative in the trade because you're kind of like trying to get it from him, and he's just like dragging his feet, and he's hoping you get so tired of it that you're going to give him too much. So I'd probably just walk away from the negotiation, bro.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to basically hope JT comes back, and hopefully Puka comes back in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right, broski. Travis, you're live. Hold on a second. Okay. Connor or AJ Brown? AJ Brown. AJ Brown, Alec. Come on. I like Connor, but AJ Brown all the way. Bye weeks out of the way. Easy call. What, Travis?
Would you trade Kamara for Breece, or would you need more?
I would trade Kamara for Breece straight up, easy. If I could get what?
What about Achane?
Kamara's a little bit more valuable, so I would definitely want something for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You'd want something with Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara's
with
been
Breece for Kamara.
Amazing. Yeah, but I'm interested in
Achane?
it. I'm interested in it. I'd rather have Achane quietly, but I'm using the market value. I'm not doing that straight up. So like, let's say they have let's say you have a Godwin and you throw Godwin in to get, a Tyreek Hill or an MHJ. Then I tell them, okay, I'll go ahead and downgrade my RB when I quietly like Achane, So I do a creative 2 for 2 in that situation. I wouldn't do it straight up.
I'm an Achane for Breece. Sorry.
I'd take Breece Hall in a heartbeat. Breece Hall's
okay.
Yeah, I love Achane, but Breece Hall he's maybe going to be, I think, in retrospect, running back 1, 2, or 3 overall for drafting over again. I think in a couple weeks. I think the shakeup is that big.
I'm trying to get him in a few different leagues. And then what about if you get Breece and Braylon, you gave up Chuba and Brooks, Olave, and Puka. Is that too much?
Chuba, Brooks, Olave, and Puka for Breece Hall?
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot, but if your depth's okay, if you have enough depth to do it, I guess.
I have the depth at wide receiver.
Sure. I mean, if it's one of those leagues where literally you're almost not starting all of these guys, like you have that much of rotation, then sure. I mean, you're up. It's hard to say because every team's different. There are some teams, like in a 10-man league, for example, where someone's got this plethora of depth. They got Puka, they got Kupp, they got Debo, and then they ask me a question: should I give up 2 or 3 guys for one? And you're like, hell no. And you're like, oh, it's an 8 or 10-man league, and on waivers you have Bucky Irving still, and Kareem Hunt's on waivers because this is an 8 or 10-man league. I'm not saying this is, but it sounds to me like you got the depth to do it. I probably would do it.
That one's a 1 to 12 team, 1 to 10 team, but yeah, I have the depth. So.
This team I went CJ Stroud, Dell, and Diggs because I'm going to bank on that this week, and I went Lamb, Monty, and Laporta. Let's do one more, everybody. At least one more here. So go open the Underdog app. I'm going to drop the link one more time if you guys want to get in on this draft. Click that link right now. Underdog will match your first deposit 50% all the way to $1,000. So if you do 2,000, they give you 1,000. But the minimum is only $10. They'll give you 5. You get a free pick as well in your account. And open up the Underdog app. Go to the draft tab at the bottom. Then go to have the lobby clicked on the left. It should already be there. and you're going to swipe over to like the fourth card. It says Battle Royale Week 6 $7 entry. Click it. Click the green button. Jump in. I'm going to click it in about 5 seconds because of the YouTube delay to try and get in at the same time. Let me open it up. Put it on screen. Let's draft again. Do it live. All right. Rock out. Final thoughts.
JD's got to prove why he's MVP.
Mm-hmm. He sure will. Looks good, bro.
Best game of the week, Ravens and Commanders.
I know. This is really like, who are the two MVP candidates right now? Probably Lamar and JD5. So this is going to be, right now, anyway, right now. This is going to be a game that determines who is the lead dog MVP candidate as of week 6 end, which could change. A lot of season ahead of us, but no one can argue Lamar and JD5 aren't the most important players for their team. You just can't. Doesn't matter if you think, oh, I don't, blah, blah, blah. They're the most. You take Lamar off of the Ravens, nothing. You take JD5 off of the Washington Commanders, they're the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Rock. What, Rock out?
All right.
No. All right.
I'll catch you later.
All right. We'll be live tomorrow. Later.
All right.
Travis, anything else?
Yeah, just with BTJ, are you valuing him over MHJ right now? Like he's looking more and more like he's going to be like a top 12 receiver.
I think you got to value wise, but again, I'm a crafty trader, so I do the old. If I'm going to downgrade BTJ into MHJ, I need to get X, Y, or Z. But like quietly, I've got my eyes open to these buy low, sell high situations of that magnitude and that level. So I'm easily looking into an MHJ buy low off BT to gain something, or hold BT and not trade him. 100%.
Okay. And then and the last thing real quick I was going to ask was, I know you touched on him last night. I can't remember what you said. Tyrone Tracy, like, I've seen a lot of questions in the chat too. Like, he seems explosive. Like, how much? Like, what would you be going after? Like, would you be trying to trade for him, to stash him? How much do you like him? Like, I know they probably give Singletary work when he comes back, but at the same time, you got a team kind of going nowhere.
Yeah,
for the future.
He's 20. So long term, he's 25 years old. So I don't even know how much they're. I'm not saying they're discarding him. They drafted him, But you got to wonder, like, I don't know. What's this look like? Hold on, let me make this pick real quick. Let's go. You know what? I'm going to go JD5 here. Like Gibson, JD5. I don't know. I don't think, first of all, I don't think the team's going to necessarily be in a good position to run all year. I think he's decent. I think he's below Bucky, but he's kind of in the same bucket where it's like you're putting this guy in as your flex and you're hoping that he just goes nuts. But Tracy's good. He's good. He definitely needs to be rostered. Receiver equivalent would be like Higgins. Sure. Or no, less than that. A little less than that. But the tier below Higgins, I'd say that's where Tracy feels running back wise. But it's such a rough running back climate that like you could make arguments, but yeah.
Well, that's kind of why I was asking, just because it's so like right now I'm not overpaying, but I'm like I try to collect running backs if I can afford to.
Yeah.
Because you think you have depth, and then two guys get injured and you don't. So.
Yep.
All
right. Later, Travis. I'll be back tomorrow. A couple of shows at least. Later. Okay, let me get these super chats. AJ says, to give context on Evans versus Bijan question, I have Brian Thomas Jr., Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra, and Devontae Adams. Probably rather have Bijan than in that case, I believe. Yeah, probably. But it's definitely arguable. And Bijan could definitely turn the page this week. He really could. Or the problem, though, is if he doesn't, then he doesn't do it against Carolina. No one's going to pay anything for Bijan. And you could have got him a lot cheaper, at that point. Good morning from Florida. But at the same token, it's such a great matchup. If he has 2 touchdowns on 100 yards, you can't buy him anymore. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. Offer Ridley and or Bigsby for Neighbors, absolutely, and I would give both. You're high on Neighbors. Not that high if you think that could get him, but yes, I would give that up, and you'd probably get rejection. But try Ridley for JMO. I do that too in conjunction with it, not and or. I do the trade Ridley for JMO also, and maybe that getting JMO allows you to get that trade done if you need to use JMO. How hard should I be trying to get rid of Mason? Go watch my Mason video, because it'll do a lot better job, Garrett, than me explaining it over again and missing some details. But it's not about how hard should you try to get rid of Mason. It's sell him high or don't sell him. But you need to sell him for Tyreek Hill, give up more and get Bijan. But now that he's injured, it's going to be harder to do it. But I definitely feel... Hold on one second. Let me just make these picks here. Let's go MHJ here. So my team is Jaden Daniels, Gibbs, and Harrison. I like it. I like it a lot. I would say injured, it's going to be hard to sell him. I almost feel like if you can't get rid of him for Hill, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, on the bye week, it might be doable. You're selling too low, and you just got to hold and ride till the wheels fall off. I mean, I warned you to sell him before week 6 kicked off. I put that video out for a reason, bro. That I love him. We're not selling him low, but selling him, if you're going to sell him, should have been done before week 6. And now if you waited, you almost are stuck with them, and you can't do it, bro. Don't make the trade and screw up your value. It is what it is. You held him, and now you got to wait. You got to wait it out. Let's go with, I still think Laporte. I think Laporte is bouncing back hardcore. Okay, Garrett, thank you for the super chat. I mean, I put those trade videos up for a reason and took a little heat because we're Masonites, but I said if you're going to trade them now. The week's still further away from McCaffrey coming back. It's the time to trade him, or you make the decision, I'm going to ride it out all the way, which both are strong moves, but look what happened. He got hurt, and what did I say in the video? As much as he's winning us leagues based on the way he's playing, he's the leading rusher in the NFL through 6 weeks of football. But at the same token, he is also a player that hasn't got this workload since high school, which is what I've been saying over and over and over on my sell Mason high, but only sell him high videos. People really take what I say wrong. There's sometimes a dual threat to something that I'm saying, a dual purpose. Sell Mason high or don't sell him at all. Two things can be right at the same time. We can love Mason and also sell Mason at the same time. Henry, Chase, or Breece, Terry, Pittman rest of season. Henry or Chase or Breece, Terry, Pittman. Henry and Chase by a lot. A lot, bro. Logan, $5 hauler. Who am I starting? Terry, Deontay, Garrett Wilson, Tank. Mixon, Bucky, Cook, Robinson. Or Dobbins, sorry. Dobbins, Chase Brown. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. I'm going to say the 2 wide receivers are going to be Terry and Garrett Wilson. The running backs are going to be Bucky and Mixon, given that Cook is out, or most likely not playing. And then if I guess Chase Brown if Mixon doesn't play. And then Tank is your flex. Okay, let's go. Tank Dell. Man, does Olave have that day? I'm going to queue Olave in case I time out, and I'll just let it take Olave. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Olave here. Not my favorite pick, but it's a good pick. We'll go Olave. So my team ended up being Jaden Daniels, Gibbs, MHJ, Dell, Olave, Laporta. B for 3, appreciate your super chat. Other super chats. Cody has a super chat here, and Bruce, appreciate Bruce's super chat. Put you guys all on screen here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Logan, for the super chat. Mason and Ayuk for Hall. Yeah, I do that. Wandell or Tank to offer. Have Wandell or Tank to offer. I don't know what we mean there. Like, would I throw Wandell in? Sure. Tank, no. If Brian Robinson is out, you leaning Eckler or Bucky? Bucky. Let's try one more because this thing is it's not giving me an 80. I want an 80. I want to finish this with an 80. An 80 projection. Not that I care about their projections much, but I just want to accomplish this. Click the link. I'm dropping it one more time in the live chat. It's pinned in the live chat. It's also in the description of the video in case you're watching a replay. Battle Royale week number 6. Click the Battle Royale week 6 card. Hit the green button. And let's get into one more. Pitts or likely at flex. Pitts or likely. I'm going to go probably Kyle Pitts for safety. And Dobbins, J-Mo, Chase Brown. I'm going to go J-Mo for safety. Bruce, appreciate you. Have you heard of any ETN trade rumors? Nothing substantial, just people kicking around their ideas. Like, what if he went here? There's nothing. They even said he's their starter. I think there's zero interest in them trading ETN. I'd almost say near zero. But that could change, you know. I have 7 wide receivers: Chase, BT, Deontay, Waddle, Dell, Worthy, Juju. 5 running back: Gibbs, JK, Najee. Okay, can I drop a wide receiver for Tracy Jr. or trade one? One of my league mates will give me Moss. I don't really need Moss if I've got, honestly. Tracy for, yeah, I don't know if I want to cut anybody. I mean, maybe Juju. Look, Juju's pretty good, but I mean, Tracy's good too. They're about equal. But would I try and trade like Najee and Waddle for 1 RB, like Bijan, JT injured? You know what I mean? Like something along those lines. Kamara, who had a bad game. Monty would even suffice. Okay, I'm going to go Derrick Henry here. I'm going to try and draft. I'm going to try and get in the mind of the projections, and I'm going to try and accomplish the best drafted team while chewing gum, walking at the same time, and getting the highest projected team in this draft of 6. So yeah, Najee and Waddle, JK and Waddle, all 3 in Waddle, or Deontay, throw in Deontay, whatever, to get one player, my guy. And you're going to go hunting for, I mean, I go hunting for Hill, MHJ, JT injured, Cooper Kupp on a bye. All those make a whole lot of sense. B for 3, appreciate you. Traded Stevenson for Flowers before the news. Excellent job. Fantastic. And then I try and flip Flowers, to be honest with you. $20 hauler from EA. Appreciate you. EA goes to the moon. All right, my team so far is Derrick Henry. Let me put it on board view. I apologize. I got Derrick Henry already. Let's go Jaden Daniels. I feel like he's the best player available here. We're gonna use BPA only. I'm not trying to correlate anything. 20 man, 4-1, 10 or 20 man, $20, 10 man, 4-1. Over 3 trades, I traded Kyren, Rice, Achane, and Tyreek for Bijan, JT, Neighbors, Dell. Kyren, Rice. Okay, so Rice is okay. So Kyren, Achane, Tyreek. That's a lot, though. Even with Rice out of the picture, Kyren, Achane, and Tyreek is a lot. You're not gonna like my answer. EA goes, I'd rather have Kyren, Achane, even with Rice not in the picture. I assume Rice was banged up when the trades were made, maybe, but I would trade Kyren, or would not trade Kyren, Achane, and Tyreek for Bijan, JT, Neighbors, and Dell. It's close, though. It really comes down to, like, Well, maybe I would. Hold on. I'm rushing myself here. Let's go Mike Evans. He feels like the best player available here. Chat, what are we doing here? Chat, will we take the Kyron side? Let's see, Kyron, Achane, and Tyreek for Bijan, JT, Neighbors, Dell. So would I rather have Neighbors over Tyreek? I probably would. Even though Neighbors is injured right now, Tyreek's on a bye. Just remember, Tyreek could come back, bouncing back, roaring back to his old self when Tua returns. But Tua's got to stay healthy. This is tough. This is tough. Vote on this one, guys. I'd probably go... Kyron's the number 1 running back in the league, if not number 2, behind Barkley maybe. That's it. And Bijan's out to prove himself. JT's injured right now. Neighbors is injured right now. Dell, he's got a lot to prove. I love him, but he's still got a lot to prove. Like, this is it's a tough situation. I'd probably lean. That's a really tough call, man. I mean, Kyron's side. Neighbor's side is completely split. Look, the bottom line is it's an even job. You didn't do a bad job at all. I'm wavering. So clearly it all worked out. So EA Goats, you didn't do bad at all by any means. We're all struggling to vote on that one. Let's go with MHJ. I think he's going to have a day. MHJ to the moon. EA Goats, did you have anything else in that question? I don't know if you did. Bench, Swift. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to trade Swift if I can, though, my guy. Swift and let's say, I don't know, JT injured for an upgrade or something like that. But, like, your team's phenomenal. You did a good job. You did not make a mistake by making the trade. The point is, we're all struggling to decide what side's better. Do I trade Pittman and Ford for Bigsby? Yes, you do. Pittman's banged up. Ford's going to lose a lot of work. Bigsby and Brooks, absolutely. Then trade my Wandell and Bigsby for Chase Brown and Wicks. I don't know that I'd go that direction. I might ride roll the dice with Bigsby. Chase Brown might be a little bit safer, I guess, but I think I'd probably hold on that. But either way, I could go either way. Achane and Amon-Ra for Chase Brown and Hall. You got to be clear, bro. It could be A.J. Brown. I don't know if that's Chase Brown. I have no idea. So Achane and Amon-Ra over Chase Brown and Hall by a lot. Devo, appreciate you. Miguel, did 2 different trades. How did I do? I gave Ayuk and B-Rob Jr. for Garrett Wilson and Dell. Arguable, but I'd rather have Garrett Wilson and Dell, and I gave MHJ and Ramondre for Bijan. Kind of close, I guess. Honestly, MHJ's good enough to argue on that side. Let's see, do I have a tight end already? No, I don't. Let's go with Laporta. Drop it like it's hot. Laporta to Smitty, to Team Smitty. I've got Derrick Henry, Jaden Daniels, Evans, Marvin Harrison Jr., Laporta. Feeling really, really good about the squad. Miguel, thank you for the super chat. Again, I lean. I would say Bijan and MHJ are really close right now. I'm hoping that Bijan has such a big day that side's better. But I do like the Tank Dell Garrett Wilson side slightly, but it's not a home run like you beat him into oblivion. Smitty, would you trade Gibbs for Breece Hall? I'd rather have Gibbs. By a hair, right? You know what? This could change. This is why I'm doing the show. I think the tables turn for Breece, but I'd still take Gibbs by a hair. And he's bye week free, bro. That's a huge advantage. So give me Gibbs. Other running backs, he also has Kyron. You trade Gibbs for Kyron. I'd rather have Kyron. Well, but the bye week, if it's important to you, if you've got 1 or 2 wins, then I'd rather have Gibbs. But if you've got 4 wins or even 3 wins, I probably lean Kyron. But Gibbs with that bye week out of the way is huge, bro. Smitty, who should I drop to get my kicker? Juju, Leggett, Tracy Downs. I'm going to drop Leggett for right now. He's a rookie. He's got a kind of a tough situation. You know, it's not an amazing situation by any means. You know, it's not the best situation at all. Okay. Yeah, you got to be clear on that, Devo. You can't just put Brown, especially when we're talking about Chase Brown in your question. Achane and Amon-Ra for A.J. Brown and Hall. I'm going to go Dell here. So my squad is Jaden Daniels, Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison, Tank Dell, Sam Laporta. Let's see what it ranks me. Amon-Ra and Achane for A.J. Brown and Hall. A.J. Brown and Hall. The bye week out of the way for both A.J. Brown and Amon-Ra. It's kind of even there. I'm going to go Hall side. Because A.J. Brown, you could, 77, I got close. You could argue, wait, where was that? Yeah, you could argue that A.J. Brown and St. Brown are even. So give me Hall. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Neighbors was wide receiver 1 before he was hurt. People forget if they don't have him. Their team, he'll come back. Yeah, Gilbert, I think people know that, Gilberto, but I think it's just there's some concern, right? Whenever you miss like multiple games with a concussion, the recidivism rate for another concussion, like he's got a huge likelihood of another concussion probably. And you might say, oh, he'll be fine. He's young. Yeah, bro, he's out for multiple games. There's clearly a bad concussion. And concussions are brain damage. Like if you can't get out of the concussive state this long, you've had severe brain damage. Not a small amount of brain damage, severe brain damage. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and forget how to play football. I'm just saying that there's some risk, there is. But I absolutely agree with you. If he stays healthy, Neighbors is top 5. Trade MHJ and Bucky for DJ Moore and Tyreek. You could also have a struggle bus first game back, you know what I mean? Trade MHJ and Bucky for DJ Moore and Tyreek. I'd take, if I need RBs, I take the Bucky side. If I need wide receivers, I take the Tyreek side. I think it really does come down to that with that question. It's a good one, though. Very even. Needed a running back with Achane and Kyren on a bye. White downgraded to doubtful. I have Bucky locked in along with ETN and Tank Bigsby in the flex. Needed a running back with Achane. Okay, so what's the question here? I have Bucky locked in along with ETN and Tank Bigsby in the flex. Along with ETN and Tank Bigsby in the flex. There's no real question here, but nice job, bro. KJV, you're the man. Appreciate you. If you're asking who to start between like Bigsby and ETN, I lean ETN for safety and Tank for upside, if that's the question. 3-2 PPR. Nico owner has Breece Hall. Week 6. What is that? Why does everybody say that? Nico owner has Breece Hall. Okay, let's see if you're asking about Nico. Lamar, Najee, Bigsby, Debo, T, likely, bench. Who should I pair with Allen? Who should I pair with Allen? Should I trade? You're not being very clear here, Stoney. Nico owner has Breece Hall. Week 6 starting lineup. Blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, who should I pair with Braylon Allen? I don't know what you're asking. I assume you want to get Breece Hall, but I don't know what Nico has to do with it. Or if you want Nico. So if you're trying to get Nico Collins, I think is what you're trying to say, using your Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen and Kelsey. I mean, look, you can't give up one of those receivers. You can't give up A.J. Brown, or you could give up T Higgins and Braylon Allen for Nico. Najee, Braylon Allen for Nico. Bigsby, Braylon Allen for Nico. Bigsby, Najee, and Braylon Allen for Nico. I'd do those if that's what you're asking. Thank you, Stoney. Stoney to the man. Stoney gets a monster Mars shot too. That was a $20 hauler. Let's give this man a little more attention. This is a $20 hauler. Stoney, appreciate you. Let's see if I can cook up something else for you, Stoney. Stoney's the man. T. Higgins. Yeah, don't trade Amon-Ra. Don't trade Debo for Nico. Braylon Allen, you could definitely use that. Smart. I like where you're going with this. T. Higgins, Braylon Allen. I would do Kelsey and Braylon Allen too. Maybe. If you get like I don't know if you could get a tight end back, but You know what? Screw that. Don't do that. Keep Kelsey. He seems like he's getting in a rhythm. I would stay firm. T. Higgins, but I'd throw in Najee with Braylon Allen. I'd give T. Higgins, Najee, Braylon Allen. I'd give Bigsby, Najee, Braylon Allen. I'd give Bigsby, T. Higgins, Braylon Allen. That's the only thing I can cook up, bro. There's nothing else here unless you're giving up Kelsey. And if you want him that badly, then I Smitty approve it if you want to do it. But you're not making out big time on the deal though, Stoney, if you do give up Kelsey, whereas you are making out and robbing him if you go the other direction. You know what I'm saying, Stoney? The Stone Meister. I'm tired today. I might. How many people we got in here? We got 400 in the building. I might call it after this one. Robert dropping the $10 hauler. Robert, appreciate you. Any moves, potential trade Walker and Waddle for Bijan. I'd rather have Walker and Waddle, bro. Many would rather have Walker than Bijan right now. Not saying we won't regret you not doing this after Carolina's matchup, but what if he doesn't do well? I'm taking Walker and Waddle. And instead, I'm trying to move Waddle with Kraft just on the high, or maybe you keep Kraft, you move CMC and Waddle for a Tyreek Hill, for a receiver right around that territorial player. It's like you're upgrading Waddle a little bit, right? Safety wise, you're getting Tyreek, or you're getting St. Brown, or you're getting a player that big time, right? And you're giving CMC, which is a kind of maybe an overpay, maybe not, to get that security out of Waddle, get rid of Waddle. You know what I'm saying, bro? B for 3 with the final super chat of the evening. What if I offer BT and Najee and JK for Breece Hall? Not too much. No, sir. I do that. I like BT a lot, but Breece Hall, I'm taking Breece Hall from that owner to my team with that move. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll be live probably a couple times, definitely for the Graveyard Show, which is about midnight Eastern, same show as this kind of show. And then I'll be live probably at some point during the middle of the day. Probably some breaking news or something, but I appreciate every single one of you. Let's have a day. Let's have a day.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a hull of a job. A hull of a job. A hull of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to...
Legend has it, if you say St. Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your lead.
There are 2 5s? KD 5? AR 5? There can't be.
Oh no. They're gonna cross streams. Oops. Well, damn. He's a fragile Freddy.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
And beyond.
To Saturn
And beyond.
Supernova.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah. We have to. Let's go. Start the procedure.
Masonites assemble.
Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, and additionally live whenever news breaks, and live a lot of graveyard shifts, if not, 4 or 5 nights out of the week at midnight we go live, just, in addition to all of that. But live whenever big news breaks, live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to join the Patreon. If anybody has not joined the Patreon, I'll drop the link in the live chat right now. It's 365, 24/7 fantasy football talk on the Patreon, patreon.com/the fantasy football show. Here's the Patreon link right now. Join the Patreon. It's also in the description of the video. Hit that link. It's basically an extension to this live chat community right over to the Patreon. See you all later. Appreciate you.